Guys, what is Tony Khan doing to ROH? What is this man doing to ROH? Samoa Joe has just relinquished his ROH TV title after holding that thing for almost 2 years now. 500 and something days. He defended it probably a handful of times. Okay, maybe a little bit more than that. But overall, he didn't do too much with the title and just held it as a prop piece, basically. The last time that title was defended on ROH TV was July of this year. Please tell me what's the point of that title if it's not being defended on Honor Club. Please tell me what's the point of Honor Club if nothing is happening on Honor Club. I know Eddie Kingston just recently defended his title on Honor Club, but damn, he's been over in Japan for half the time, so I guess you gotta do something to kind of combat the fact that he's been in Japan. I don't understand this booking decision of relinquishing the title after beating Keith Lee. Come on, man. Don't forget about Keith Lee.
No, don't you forget about Keith. The goose clapped along.
Keith Lee is being absolutely destroyed in AEW. And let's not forget, he got destroyed on the main roster by Vince McMahon as well. But you choked the man out. Samoa Joe choked the man out. Cool. Dominant heel. He's still going after MJF. Nope. I've decided I don't want this title anymore. It's not for me. It's not for me. I don't want the ROH TV title. It means nothing. I want the big gold. I want MJF's world title. And it's like, okay, fair enough. So does that ROH title just mean nothing? So the next person that holds that title is essentially going to be the guy that held the title that Samoa Joe didn't want. He's basically just got given a title that Samoa Joe didn't care for. Like, how does that make any sense? How does that make you look good? How does that make your brand look good? How does that make your promotion look good? It really doesn't. That's Samoa Joe saying ROH means nothing. I did everything for that promotion back in the day. Means nothing now. I want the AEW championship. Come on, man. And Keith Lee. I know maybe you don't want Samoa Joe to lose clean because he's going after MJF. Makes sense. You don't want to make him look weak. 100%. There's other ways to lose a title. There's other ways to lose a wrestling match. Have some creativity. You don't always have to lose clean. I know wrestling fans don't like dirty finishes. Finishes that don't make sense. Or not finishes that don't make sense. But finishes that aren't clean. Aren't this person is simply better than that person. Sometimes you can have an interference. Sometimes you can have a roll-up. Sometimes you can have a lucky win. That happens in pro wrestling. That's what makes pro wrestling what it is. There's ways to get out of your booking mistakes. For example, MJF could have cost Samoa Joe his chance. MJF could have cost him the title. Why? Because he's after his title. So let me get back at him. Simple as that. MJF costs him the title. Keith Lee goes over. They're both faces. MJF's already a heel face anyway. He does dirty tactics. It's not like he's a super clean baby face. So tell me why that's not possible. I'm getting heated, man. I'm getting heated because ever since Tony Khan bought ROH, he's done absolutely nothing with it. Yes, the pay-per-views might have been excellent, but even Eddie Kingston versus Claudio happened on AEW Television. It happened first at the ROH pay-per-view, and then the actual match where the finish happened that we wanted happened on AEW Television. Make that make sense. Why is ROH not getting it? Why are the paying subscribers not seeing the action that they want to see? You know, in the beginning of ROH on Honor Club, I was watching. Yes, there were a lot of matches which maybe I didn't want to see, but I was watching. Why? Because I wanted to get into the ROH experience. But now, you try to watch ROH on Honor Club, and there's 18 matches to watch in 2 hours. That might be a little bit of a hyperbole, but there is so many matches in 2 hours. Very little stories. There is stories. I'm not going to act like nothing happens, but there's a lot of matches that are just there for the sake of having the match, and there's people coming in from all these different promotions just for the sake of having a match, where you've got people on AEW TV that are doing absolutely nothing that can be utilized on Honor Club, on ROH TV, and actually make a name for themselves and the brand. There's so many people that do absolutely nothing, and they're just getting paycheck after paycheck. But you'll bring in people from wherever to come and sit on ROH. Make it make sense. Honestly. And you know where this mistake stems from? You know where Samoa Joe should have lost the title? When he faced Mark Briscoe at the last pay-per-view. Samoa Joe should not be holding the title to this point. He should have lost it then, and he could have done whatever he wanted on AEW TV. Whatever his heart desired. But no, we're going to make Samoa Joe win and keep Mark Briscoe fighting for the title. And guess what now? That story's gone. That story can't be replaced. That story can't be redone. Why? Because Samoa Joe just gave the title away. He just dropped it on the floor and decided, I don't want it. I'm relinquishing it. Make it make sense. And the fact that ROH is constantly on AEW television. I mean, think back. Chris Jericho was ROH champion once upon a time. Chris Jericho. You know what I think that was? I think that was, let's try to get some attention to ROH to get a TV deal. We know that. And it was also Chris Jericho, like, let me tick something else off a bucket list. Let me add something else, another accolade to my name. And Tony Khan was like, sure, let's do that. All because they were trying to get a TV deal. That's one thing. But I think Chris Jericho was like, I could add something else to my list.
You just made the list!
So, I don't know. It's almost like it's been like a playground for Tony Khan. He's not taking it serious. He bought the promotion just for the videotape library. Let's face facts. He bought it just for the videotape library, because if he cared, there'd be stories on ROH, not just random bookings. And another thing, I know it was a way to cut costs, but ROH filmed before or after Dynamite, Collision, whatever the case is. It's not good. It doesn't make for good TV when watching ROH. When it was in the small arena, the small setup, I think at the Universal Studio, perfect. Absolutely perfect, because you got the ROH feel, sort of. Wasn't quite the same, but it was very similar. And you just got the vibe that it was ROH. In these big arenas with nobody caring, half empty crowds, it just doesn't work or look good. You're never going to get a TV deal with that. Never. Never. And I heard somebody, I watched it on a Cultaholic video, they were talking about there's a potential that one day, if they were looking to cut costs, they would slash ROH. Now, I don't know how true that is, because I do think Tony Khan doesn't like getting rid of people, or in this case, a whole company. I do think Tony Khan likes to be as strong as possible in keeping everybody in a job until their contract expires, until their time is done, which I commend him for, 100% commend him for. But come on, man. You're doing nothing with it. You're ruining it. You're making the titles worthless. Here's another thing. Eddie Kingston right now, ROH champion. Finally, it happened. His true goal came. But you let him go and become a New Japan Strong champion, and his other goal was also achieved. Now, I want to ask you something. Which one do you think Eddie Kingston values more? And which one do you feel is the better title that he's holding, or the title that he's showing off right now and he's defending more and he cares about more? Obviously, the New Japan title. Obviously. It feels like he's been an outcast in AEW and ROH, but for a while now, but they still gave him the title because they have to, and to finish the story. That's how I feel, because when he first came in, they used him and they used him and they used him. Now, they're kind of just giving him the matches that he wants to keep him happy, but he's got no real substance other than the Claudio feud. And even that was botched, in my opinion. It could have been so much better. So much better. And saved for a pay-per-view when Eddie won it. Not just giving it to him now because he's going to go over to Japan and now he's a double champion. Make it make sense. I don't even want to get started on the tag titles, because right now MJF is holding both titles by himself. By himself. Instead of him relinquishing it when he had the opportunity to relinquish it, a reasonable reason, something that made logic, he had that chance. Nope, I'm going to defend it by myself and defeat everybody and make everybody look like absolute fools. And that's exactly what he's done. Exactly. So, I don't know. It's people hold on to titles too long in ROH. Athena's held on to it for long. Eddie's gonna now hold on to it for very long. Before that, Claudio held on to it for a while. Tag titles is a mess. The ROH TV Championship, Samoa Joe held forever. The Pure Championship, it feels like Shibata is held onto that thing forever. Nothing changes, nothing moves. It's like you can not watch 3 months of ROH on a club or ROH on Honor Club, come back and you fully up to date. That's how it feels, because nothing happens, nothing changes, nothing progresses. And it's a problem. I think Tony Khan needs to make a decision, either give the creative to someone else or just cut ties totally. One of the two needs to happen, and get rid of ROH on AEW TV. I feel like it distracts from the stories that we need in AEW. Distracts from everything in AEW, in my opinion. Including MJF. Now he has to work double duty sometimes. Yeah. There's guys, tag teams in ROH that are just competing for nothing right now. Competing for nothing. MJF hasn't even been on Honor Club. And he's the tag champion. Make it make sense. Yeah. Anyway, that's my little rant about ROH and Tony Khan and AEW. I hope nobody takes us too serious. I just want the best for ROH. I really just want the best. So, yeah, guys. See you guys next time. Take care. Peace.